Greetings, Traveler and Paimon.
Are you okay, Ganyu? You were nodding.
I'm fine. Since last time, I've been thinking a lot about the story Paimon told me. In essence, but the tune was... Perhaps there was no... Either way, if...
You really think so? Also, Paimon's really curious about how people from Fontaine think then she'd look just like Ganyu. Guess that does technically make sense. Actually, Ganyu, if you had to save a drowning person, how would you go about it?
Huh? Me? Well, once I was sure that they were going to be okay, I'd slip away without a sound.
Got it. So basically, Ganyu...
No, it's not...
Well, what if this had... She was probably thinking something like... One was merely passing by and saw fit to address this egregious disruption to one's graceful zithering at once. You may keep your thanks to yourself.
That was actually as far as I'm aware, Cloud Retainer isn't the most... If we set off now, we could head to Mount Outsung and ask her about it. You'll be able to confirm either way if it's her. I've been in Lea Harbor for so long now that I'm just...
Sounds great! And
I've prepared a gift for her to mark the festival, just in case. However... Cloud Retain... Never mind. Traveler?
Seems like this is a tough... Paimon gets why she'd be so anxious. Wait, did she leave already? I'm trying to keep up. Don't either of you need to take any breaks?
I can't...
Huh?
She doesn't like to travel, so in the past, it's true. Now that I think about it, Cloud Retainer would be quite capable of taking care of anything on her own. There's no need to worry about her. Since she's not here, I guess the next step is to check...
Uh-oh. Will it involve a lot more traveling? Got it!
Please go on.
Our goal here is to... We can't even...
Yes,
So, all we have to do is get... You know perfectly well that Paimon can't swim... Just trust Paimon! The water's pretty deep over... Help! Help! Someone's drowning! If only there was a kind-hearted Adeptus here to save us! Oh no! Whatever will a Paimon do?
What is going on?
How do you feel right now?
Why don't you say something? Okay, fine. We're looking for an Adeptus who's... But if the Adepti aren't gonna say...
It wasn't me.
Yeah, so this Adeptus is most...
And I am not an Adeptus, as you both already know.
Okay, so this is No way Paimon would have suggested this idea if she'd known how awkward...
Glad you're okay. As far as I know, the one you seek is no Yaksha. And your actions here caused others a great deal of worry. Do not repeat them again in the future.
As ever, the conqueror of demons comes and goes.
Right. I didn't dare. How's your training going, Shenhe?
Oh, I had planned to...
Oh, speaking of Cloud Retainer...
Earlier this morning, I noticed she was
So we just... Please excuse me for a moment.
Sure.
It sounds like Ganyu and Shenhe...
Yes. During the summer and winter, Ganyu arranged accommodations, but when I try to blend in by referring to her as Miss Ganyu or Lady Ganyu, like the others... Sometimes I'm supposed to copy other people. Sometimes I'm... Oh, is that what it is? So, you came looking for Master...
Yep. Oh, speaking of that...
Music?
It's...
Okay, I'm done. I also left her a note so that she knows where to find us.
Yay!
We were just talking...
Oh, really?
More speed. This is the place. I enjoy training here to the sound of music.
Oh no! Paimon's gone deaf! Paimon can't hear anything!
The faint sound of birdsong, the quiet murmur.
Oh. Okay, fine. It's all Paimon's fault.
Oh. And a melody is?
Huh?
Hey, why don't you just sing that one melody Shen has heard before? It'll probably help her to understand what we're talking about.
Oh, was that from the opera that Yoonjin sang?
That was a melody, and melodies can be called music.
It felt like as I watched you when you hummed that
Wow, Shenhe. Music definitely has the power to bring up memories. It's like a time... What about you, Ganyu?
I don't remember if my I know some local folk songs. The songs of the sailors down at the docks. The little ditties that the vendors... Yes, that's in the past. Whenever I heard the sound of those tunes, Nenny and Liyue probably view me as a non-human. And they are right, in the sense that I never could connect... At least, that's the view I held in the past. Only more recently did I... The way those even though we come from... In that sense...
You go, Ganyu!
Yes, I am, technically.
Thank you.
Once the days I've planted...
You are too kind.
Nonsense. You are my friend. I have cultivated and cared for the flowers just as you taught me. I will save some for decoration. We can feast.
Then, thank you in advance. Wait,
do people say that?
It doesn't matter, okay? You got the point across. No need to split hairs. Paimon's more concerned about your idea of a girls' night out. Eating flowers? Really? Does this have anything to do with you both being the disciples of that
Who dares refer to one not by one's Adeptus title, but merely as that illuminated bird?
Master. Our greetings, Cloud Retainer.
Ah! There it is! The illuminated bird has landed!
Double humph. Now she has the gall to use it rather than she, even after being chastised once already? Barely a moment has passed since we last met, and yet your impertinence has reached new heights. Very well. If you refuse to... One has received your message from Ganyu. On the matter of the Adeptus Well, shall one lead the way?
I still have to complete my training for today, so I will bid farewell to everyone here.
Very well. Await my arrival at one's abode later this night. On this special occasion, you should indulge yourself with some savory dishes.
If you want to release a Shao Lantern, thank you, everyone. Happy Lantern Rite.
Behold!
What trinkets lie veiled within this desolate plain?
Is this? Cloud Retainer, why did you bring us here?
Ganyu is of course familiar with the name Guizhong. Guizhong is another name of Agentis, the god of dust. Long ago, Sea Gazer would
Paimon remembers that name. So that's what Sea Gazer was like.
He was an old friend and a former rival. One has many memories of him. Once he had brought out the treasure, it would predictably become the center of attention. Neither Guizhong nor one was content to let him just steal the spotlight. So we would then also present our proudest mechanical creations. As Adepti, we were each gifted in our own ways, and naturally proud of our accomplishments in our respective fields of expertise. His treasures were not even of his own making. He just used his exploration skills to dig them out of the ground. How, pray tell, could he compare to me, when every single one of one's accomplishments were crafted by one's own hand?
Cloud Retainer, you are getting competitive again.
One digresses. Regardless, every time an argument occurred,
What kind of nonsense?
no kind of nonsense were we spared. Sometimes she would brazenly opine, why argue between yourselves when neither of you could ever hope to beat me? Other times, she would make unsolicited suggestions, such as, once you two are done arguing, let's go to the foot of the mountain. She always sought to make everyone happy. And one must say, she had quite the gift for it. No matter what nonsense she said, it also helped that she never referred to one as that illuminated bird or
Come on, get over yourself!
Anyway, Just as our impassioned arguments would reach the apex of acrimony, Marchosius would bring his delectable dish. Who would dare snub the stove god and his wondrous creations? At the sight of him, we would... Back then, one was always bothered by how the cups Rex Lapis brought were always too square for one's taste. Can you see yourselves ever enjoying a drink from a square cup? Then you are most tolerant, but that is its own virtue. Even one could never find fault with Marchosius's cooking. Each of those old fossils had their character flaws and points of obstinacy. We would drink together from a spot high. Streetwood Rambler.
Streetward Rambler?
That would be Ping. You probably know her as Madam Ping.
Oh, okay. Or are you saying that it was...
Alas, long has one avoided this place for precise... One should have guessed that you would disrupt one's poignant moment of mourning with your... No matter. One will share the whole story with you now.
In times gone by, one quarreled oft with Guizhong concerning mechanical principles. We each had our ideals, and neither would yield. Under the pretext of a social gathering, one invited the impartial Rex Lapis to judge the quality of our creations. But Rex Lapis declared that Guizhong's obscuro vulpus mechanism was superior. Though one was too proud to acknowledge it, in one's heart, one knew that Guizhong was indeed the superior talent in the mechanical arts. As for the story between Guizhong and Streetward Rambler, that begins with a certain bell. In Guizhong's opinion, while mechanisms were no substitute for human composers, they were yet capable of producing simple but fine melodies. But Streetward Rambler believed music to be an expression of the soul. An emotional enterprise that could never hope to be replicated by machinery. They argued endlessly, until one asked Rex Lapis to intercede. He confiscated the bell and designated it for ceremonial use. Thereafter, one would often find them convening in the mountains, discussing music, mechanics, and all the affairs of the mortal world. But these good times were not to last. War broke out between the gods, and soon engulfed the Guili Plains. Guizhong was overpowered by the enemy, and fell in battle. When Streetwood Rambler and I arrived at the scene at long last, all that remained among the ruins was her lifeless body. After this, at Streetwood Rambler's request, Rex Lapis granted her the cleansing bell for safekeeping. To honor our friend's memory, one made a few finishing touches to her ballistic device. Many lantern rites have passed since then. Many greetings and goodbyes. Upon what do you gaze? The Guili Plains?
No. It's... everything. We think of human life as like a lantern that's lit one minute and extinguished the next. But are we Adepti so different? Perhaps as dust settles after a storm, we too must one day return to the world below.
One has always been austere and private by nature, and has never relished socializing. One's dealings with Guizhong were born out of discussions on the discipline of mechanics.
What? You have loads of friends, and you seem pretty chatty.
Just because one is not ignorant of social graces does not mean one is fond of them. One is perfectly capable of partaking in conversation despite being introverted. But in the end, one is nothing like Streetwood Rambler. She is dauntless but thoughtful, not to mention eloquent and wise. Moreover, her friendship with Guizhong was far greater than one's own. Back when they were rivals, they would often compete against one another in that cleansing bell was one of Guizhong's proudest works, having the ability to both compose.
Wait! That's That's weird. Didn't Madame Ping say she passed? And she also said something about being a vain beauty when she was young.
Streetward Rambler, a vain beauty. That bell has a sad history. Clearly, she refrained from sharing with you the truth of its origins, since the right time had not yet come. As for her old friend, who else could it be? As soon as Streetward Rambler heard that a certain Zhang Li wished to borrow the bell, she realized that the man was none other than Rex Lapis, and that he had made an enormous decision. After all, we all have known each other for several millennia.
Whoa! So they were talking in secret code?
Enough of your intrusions. The cleansing bell is powered by a mechanical, but Streetward Rambler did not acquire it from Rex Lapis for the purpose of producing further funerary tunes. No, the two once clashed over their beliefs about the meaning of music. Who would have thought that with Gui Zhang's passing... Once upon a time, Streetward music would go from mourn. Many years passed before, which brings one back.
But if she was so happy with them...
One was also greatly perplexed by this. In response, though the strings that played that melody survive, the one who inspired it is gone. Tell me, Cloud Retainer.
Aw, poor Madame Ping.
I just remember being taken care of by you when I was young. Once the Archon War came to an end, I stayed behind in Liyue Harbor to honor my although I met Gui Zhang a few times.
Gui Zhang was quite the visionary, but tragically passed before. Had you not decided to search for that mystery Adeptus, perhaps these stories, too, would have been lost to the sands of time. As of now, you know the truth. That the Adeptus who rescued the drowning man was... Do you intend to discuss this with her?
Do you mean Ping might find the topic too distressing?
Precisely.
If I may be
Oh? How...
I've been in Liyue Harbor but this doesn't bring the city. Someone as perceptive and wise as Ping will surely... Though these immortal mountains have lost, no loss can ever be on. Ping has helped countless, though it is heartbreaking to lose a kindred spirit.
We even asked Madame Ping what she thought about adding a music festival to... when we get back.
You youngsters and your imagination...
Why don't you come with us? It's been a long time since you last...
Is not every lantern right this...
I disagree. Each new day and
Very well, then one will be off. If the other old fossils have sneaked away into the city to amuse themselves, one shall soon find out.
All right. We should be getting back to... Once the Guili assembly... Say, if we planted flowers there and cared for them...
Allow one to take back one's praise from a moment prior. You are still far too given to flights of fancy, child.
What?
One observed that you were making no effort to leave, and returned to chasten and hasten you. This time...
Whoa! Madame Ping? And Cloud Retainer?
It appears you made haste after all. One arrived but moments before you.
Oh, bless my soul. To what do I owe the honor?
Miss Illuminated Bird, haven't you said anything?
Said what, precisely? And why
'Cause you're the one who's known Madam Ping the longest.
Street word. Or rather, presumably.
Oh, Cloud Retainer.
Given that Lantern Rite is almost upon us, the weather in the city is most pleasant. Gone you, please.
All right, so this all started because we were trying to help Mr. Dvorak find the Adeptus who... Cloud Retainer informed us that the one who played that melody and rescued the drowning man was...
Let me think. Yes. What a long time ago that was. I'm surprised that you still... Even more astonishing, perhaps, is the fact that this story has survived this long at all, when mortal lives are so very brief. It appears that she has proven herself...
Who's she?
We like to call her Guizhong. From the look in Cloud Retainer's eyes, I sense that she has already told you all about her.
Albeit reluctantly, one might add.
After all, Lantern Rite's very purpose is to commemorate... Although Guizhong did not live to see the splendid sights of today.
So how has she proven herself?
Once upon a time, she said to me, but as she interacted more and more with them, her opinions on them, she marveled at the beautiful complexity of their spirits. She told us that to underestimate with the smallest amount of guidance, enormous and a human who has reached their...
She always had a way with words. That her mechanical accomplishments were judged superior to one's own was, one suspects, in large part due to her...
Speaking of mechanics, Cloud Retainer,
Of course. Guizhong and one both...
As Guizhong once said, when I see the sight...
Madam Ping looks very emotional right now.
Of all of us, it was If she were still with us...
Liyue Harbor is always filled with the sound of music at this time of the year. If she were here...
Oh, yeah! We've been dying to ask. Oh, also, with...
I can make arrangements right away.
Oh, it's been a long time since I played this, and whenever I play that tune, it always reminds me of her. There was a period of time whenever I started strumming, it almost felt like she was back again. Sitting right there on the stone stool next, no matter how much time goes by.
So the past still weighs heavily on your...
Oh, I would be lying to myself if I claimed to have completely moved on, but that is not to say that grief, just despite the sadness, I have found many things that bring me joy in life. Just look at this potted plant. Isn't it stunning?
It takes an honest and open mind to confront and conquer.
Be that as it may, I shall leave the Lantern Rite stage to the...
Well, if you're sure...
Granny! Whoa, what's everyone doing here? Did something...
And now we've spooked Yanfei. No, everyone's just here to give me...
Oh, that's wonderful, I'm glad! Well, in that case, Happy
Lantern Rite. Oh, I just remember. I will leave Mr. Dvorak in your capable hands. Cloud Retainer, Ping, we will...
Huh? Does it have to be right now?
It seems Ganyu still has much to learn when it comes to...
What a pity. She had...
Since it's been so long, Cloud Retainer, why don't you stay? I'll make a cup of tea and we can chat a while.
Gladly. This was one's intent.
When you next see the Fontaine musician, please give him my regards. I'd like to wish him the very best with...
You got it, Madam Ping!
Thank you all. As for that melody,
Wow, that'd be good.
when that time comes, wherever her spirit may be among the countless grains...
All right, let's go tell Mr. Dvorak the news. Mr. Dvorak! Ah, and Kuchin's here.
Welcome back. Did everything...
Really, really well. We found the person, Mr. Dvorak.
Are you I see. So the melody my ancestor heard was an adeptus remembering her late friend? That certainly explains why it was such a powerful and poignant tune.
That's a really interesting...
I have to say, though, it's hard to believe that the fairy from the tale is now an
Oh, Paimon knows exactly what you mean. Normally adept, but streetward rambler? Or Madam Ping?
Madam Ping possesses vast knowledge and great wisdom. Whatever physical form she may decide to take, her mind and
Yep, Kuching summed it up perfectly.
I think... yes. I must thank her in person. That can wait until after the concert, though. For now, I need to devote all my emotional energy to...
Speaking of, Madam Ping wishes you all the best. Paimon has a sneaking suspicion that she'll stay in her usual spot, but...
Wait. Oh no. Now I'm starting to get nervous. Okay. Alright. Nope. Another rehearsal is in order. Please excuse me, everyone.
Mr. Dvorak? He's already gone. Before we set off on our search with Ganya...
Please, share your insights with me.
Well, it can make people happy. And music is like a kind of memory.
It sounds like you had an eventful trip.
Wait, does that mean you're gonna...
Just a few. As long as everyone enjoys the festival act, happy lantern rite to you as well.
Paimon feels like she's forgetting. Shoot! Latent... Wait, Zhang-Li said he wasn't in it. Anyway, even if we don't make it, it's not our fault. He could have totally picked him by himself. Anyway...
Wow, so lively!
Oh! All right, let's take a break here.
Oh wow, look who it is! Are you here to hang out with everyone's favorite funeral director?
So you're just casually practicing your rapping skills at the entrance to your funeral parlor?
After everything we've been, we have all this open space, a clear view of the mountains behind and the sea in front. Not to
Invisible...
Gotta say, it took me a few days to get used to Director Who's way of talking.
Xinyan was pretty spooked too when she first got here. Just like when she sees a frog.
Come on, knock it off.
What's wrong? I've never seen someone look so There once was a Fontaine musician with my words, Xinyan's chords, and Yunjin as our mentor. We'll take the stage by storm with flames roaring and the whole audience calling for more.
For sure! The whole dance floor will be yelling encore! Encore!
Oh, don't you worry about that. I'm pretty experienced.
Huh. Guess we'll just have to trust Xinyan on this one.
Oh, Zhongli. He took one of those fancy... It's a real pity that he couldn't be around for this. As well as being a true connoisseur of tradition.
Yeah, that's right. To tell the truth, though, I never...
Well, now you know. The Wangsheng Funeral Parlor is a great location. I can speak to that. Hu Tao is always full of fun.
And jump scares.
Actually, Xinyan, I have some lyric ideas.
Sure thing.
Oh, Traveler in Paimon, I believe... When you see Zhongli, please pass on this message to him. It's up to... You should join us too.
Paimon sees them! It's illuminated deer! And illuminated bird number 2!
A familiar face. Have you come from the...
Everything's great! But, you know, if you're...
In fact, Mooncarver has been taking many walks on Mount...
Zhongli! Here you are! We've brought the bamboo...
Impeccable timing. Traditionally, bamboo shoot soup ought to be slow-cooked for many hours on low heat, using Adeptus arts to hasten the process.
Wait, that mech...
Indeed. Cloud Retainer kindly lent me her supreme quiz...
Can we not just call it a cooking machine? Actually, never mind. She seems to take a lot of pride in her mechanical gizmo...
I trust that you found the answers you were... Excellent. The past should be remembered, but not overly dwelt upon. When the bamboo shoot soup is ready, I must insist that you try some...
Oh, Zhongli! Hu Tao told us... She said, it's up to him whether he wants to support us at the performance tonight, but I expect him to... When she says performance, she must mean the lantern, right? As for the banquet,
As you can see, I have a prior engagement with 2 Adepti friends of mine tonight. Please, give direct... As for the banquet... Since the director insists, far be it from a mere consultant like myself to refuse.
Yay! Then we'll...
Absolutely.
Rex Lapis, the bamboo shoot soup is ready.
Thank you. The appearance is exquisite, and the aroma rich and intense. The craftsmanship of this machine is... Since you came all this way, you should not leave empty-handed. Please, take some soup. It tastes most exquisite while still warm.
Had one known that Cloud Retainer was in possession of such eminently useful...
And yet, since you share my lack of enthusiasm...
Not so. Had one had such a device to make up for one's lack of culinary prowess, Shenhe would not have had to rely on flowers and herbs alone for sustenance.
In that case...
A fine idea. A fine idea.
I intend to reminisce with my old friends for a while longer. You ought to get back to Liu.
I'm honored to be here on the Iridescence Tour stage. All right, without further ado, I'm Xinyan, this is Hutao, and this is a little something called...
The Blaze Lilies!
I'm up here blazing trails through the midnight sky, lighting up the world below. And when the crowds all hear my voice, they'll meet the spirit of rock and roll.
Let's go! Hey, you butterfly, you two buzzing by, guiding your way to the afterlife, opening the path without a fright. Oh, I'll light the fire, watch it blaze across the universe. I'll spit my rhymes, watch your step, or you'll get burned. Hey, woo!
Does anyone have any plans tomorrow? With another year behind us, I think we deserve a celebration of our own. My treat. Interested?
The Tianquan footing the bill? I can't miss out on that.
Master, listen!
May the year ahead be a blessed one.
I believe it shall be.
Master, the Shao Lanterns,
Ha! Elementary. One shall fashion for you a Shao Lantern the likes of which the world has never seen. And you must take it to Liyue Harbor to display its magnificence for all.